I'm here in my hotel, and I've woken up quite early in the morning and thought, right, I'll read some of my book. And then I just thought I'd look through the little cupboard next to my bed, and I found a Bible and a little New Testament book. It's nice to see these holy books are still put in hotel rooms. So I was reading the readings that they suggest for the certain days of the year. So I was reading today's, which was all about Peter being imprisoned in the New Testament. Herod's had him arrested and he's put in prison. And Herod's so worried about him obviously escaping or whatever that he's put 4 hordes of soldiers round him. And at night, Peter, when he has to go to sleep, he has to have a soldier next to him on either side to make sure he doesn't escape. But an angel of the Lord comes down, and the soldiers remain asleep. But he wakes Peter up, makes Peter get dressed, and he takes Peter through the prison and manages to, he doesn't even say how he does it, but he unlocks all the doors so that they can get out of the prison. It's all magic. Magic, miracles, or alien abduction. It talks a lot about how the Holy Spirit comes down, and in some of them they're described as coming down as a triangle, and I found that quite interesting. That when I went to see the Raphael exhibition the other day, God was depicted with a triangle behind his head, where most people put halos. You know, it got me to thinking about the old triangle of the all-seeing eye and the Illuminati stuff. You know, I think the Illuminati started off as good people, but just got infiltrated by the dark forces. But again, that's just me spouting my own knowledge of what I've learnt in the last few days. But knowledge needs wisdom. And this is something Gurdjieff used to really try and stress to people. You can get all the knowledge you want, but you need wisdom to make the knowledge work. You know, we all know those people that have lots of data in their head, lots of knowledge, happily spout facts to you, statistics about all the knowledge that they've gained over the years or the days, or what they've learnt from the newspapers and the TV that day. But have they got the wisdom to put it all together? And then while I was sitting here reading this New Testament, and I found the Proverbs were at the back of the book, the aphorisms. And I've got on this channel some films of Gurdjieff making with his aphorisms, which are very wise to know. But I thought I'd read some of King Solomon's Proverbs. So this is the moral benefits of wisdom which we all need. My sons, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding, which is what it is, because knowledge is up here, wisdom's down here in the heart. Even though I do remind you, the devil deceives through the mind and God comes through the heart. So turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding. Indeed, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He holds success in store for the upright. He has a shield to those whose way of life is blameless, for he guards the course of the just and protects the way of his faithful. I'm always in two minds about this fearing of the Lord. People that live in fear of the Lord. Should we be in fear of the Lord? That makes me a bit concerned. I don't want to be in fear of my divine source. I want to be in love with the divine source. I want to be sending love and feeling the love coming back. You know, they have in the Old Testament lots of stories of everybody cowering before their God. Do I want to cower before my God? Is that the kind of God I want? I'd give respect to my God if I ever get the chance to stand before him or her, it. But I don't want to be in fear. But then I also think that maybe when God does appear, maybe it's so overwhelming that you do be in fear because you've never felt anything like it. It's so exhilarating in one hand, but terrifying in the other, because what would it be like to be before what is supposed the unknowable? It's the best way to describe God is the unknown. because otherwise we're putting words onto God that may not be worthwhile, may not be worthy of the divine source. But when I was going through these Proverbs, I found some of them I really liked. And one of them was reminding me of the megaliths. Where was it? It was saying about do not remove boundary stones. And I know many of us don't think megaliths are boundary stones, but I do wonder whether that was a warning from the ancients of not moving stones, standing stones. Oh, now I can't find it. That's typical. But I find it interesting that some of these aphorisms, I know Gurdjieff's aphorisms are a bit more, you have to really think about what he's trying to say. But some of these ones are like that, from the Bible. The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favour with him. Which is true, isn't it? You could put that to most things. We don't want... it's all falsehoods that cause disruption in our lives. It's people that lie that cause disruption in our lives. From the mouth of the righteous comes the fruit of wisdom, but a perverse tongue will be silenced. The lips of the righteous knows what finds favour, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. And it doesn't necessarily mean as in money. It's in spiritual wealth, I would like to think of it as in wisdom. Hatred stirs up conflict, but love covers over all wrongs. This was... I love a good wink, but it says, whoever winks maliciously causes grief, and a chattering fool comes to ruin. Well, I like to wink beneficently, not malignantly. Oh, I can't even speak now. Right, I can't find the one about the stone, but I did find that interesting. Wisdom is found on the lips of the discerning, but a rod is for the back of one who has no sense. The wise store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool invites ruin. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but poverty is the ruin of the poor. And the wealth of the rich in our sense, in our case, is, their spiritual worth, our going forth in spiritual wisdom. And with that hopefully comes divine grace. Where was it? A fool finds pleasure in wicked schemes, but a person of understanding delights in wisdom. And I think that one is the one for the last 2 years. I'm just going to read it again. A fool finds pleasure in wicked schemes, but a person of understanding delights in wisdom. Too many fools have been trying to lead us down a crazy path. But we, with our open minds and the knowledge being turned into wisdom, we're aware of what's going on. And I'm going to leave with the words of Swami Vivekananda. Find God. Nothing else matters. Though it should be find your God. The God within you and the God that you follow. Here's some more great Proverbs. I love this. I'm enjoying reading these. Right then. Where was I going to go? Like a broken tooth or a lame foot, its reliance on the unfaithful in a time of trouble. Like one who takes away a garment on a cold day, or the vinegar poured on a wound, is one who sings songs for a heavy heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Like a north wind that brings unexpected rain, is a sly tongue, which provokes a horrified look. I remember Gurdjieff talks about being the sly man. I like this one, because sometimes saying the truth does bring horrified looks from people. Better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Oh my God, I've lived with so many quarrelsome people in my times. And they make the living at home quite difficult. Like cold water to a weary soul is good news from a distant land, like a muddled spring or a polluted well. And the righteous who give way to the wicked. It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honourable to search out matters that are too deep. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Okay, can't take in too much at a time, but we should search deep. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. And that's true. A person without self-control is just all over the place and often causes destruction. Like snow in summer or rain in harvest, honour is not fitting for a fool. Like a fluttering sparrow or a darting swallow, an undeserved curse does not come to rest. So, if you're going to start cursing people, make sure it's a worthwhile curse and it's deserved. Don't just do it because you're feeling pissed off at somebody. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the backs of fools. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. And that's true. I've argued with foolish people and realised that I'm just making it worse and making them... Well, you just bring yourself down to their vibration, really, and we don't want to be doing that. Sending a message by the hands of a fool is like cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. I do think walking away from fools is the best thing when they're arguing. Though I think some of them think when you're in silence, you're encouraging them. It's difficult, that one. Like the useless legs of one who is lame is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. That could be me today, giving all these proverbs out. Maybe my legs are useless. Like tying a stone in a sling is the giving of honour to a fool. Like a tom bush in a drunken's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Like an archer who wounds at random is one who hires a fool or any passer-by. No, maybe I'm the archer who's sending forth arrows of truth, I'd like to think. But I hope I'm not being a fool. I'd like to think I'm using my wisdom wisely. I might not have much of it. I try to put my knowledge together. There are some others over here. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Well, I wish you all a good day. I just saw this one. Like a maniac shooting flaming arrows of death is one who deceives their neighbour and says, I was only joking. Well, I don't joke about finding God. Find God. Nothing else matters. And I thought these proverbs probably go well with what's going on with today in these modern times. When a country is rebellious, it has many rulers, but a ruler with discernment and knowledge maintains order. And we think we've got so many rulers going on trying to rule this world. Let's talk about New World Order maybe, or the World Economic Forum. Too many rulers. What's that? Too many cooks spoil the broth. A ruler who oppresses the poor is the driving rain that leaves no crops. And that's true, isn't it? The rulers that we've got at the moment are trying to put us all down, but thankfully we're standing up and not putting up with this. Though there are still sheep out there that are following the narrative. Those who forsake instruction praise the wicked, but those who heed it resist them. Evildoers do not understand what is right, but those who seek the Lord understand it fully. And that's coming back to what I was saying before. If you find your God and faith and a meaning to your life through the faith I don't want to say religious instruction, but the belief that you're going through, you find a different meaning to life, and life is quite different. Like it's saying over here, which is one I really like. Where is it? As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. Death and destruction are never satisfied, and neither are human eyes. That's an interesting one. But anyway, water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. And those with a faith normally find a satisfaction in their life. They're not searching, where most people that do not have a faith are searching and seem quite lost in this world, and so go from one thing to another. But back to the ones about today. Where was it? Let me find it. Like a roaring lion or a charging bear is a wicked ruler over a helpless people. A tyrannical ruler practices extortion. One who hates ill-gotten gain will enjoy a long reign. You know, this is why people like Solomon, who did have a long reign, but he cared for his people. And he followed, obviously, his heart and his divine faith to make sure his people were happy too. He didn't control them. Where will we go? A faithful person will be richly blessed, but one eager to get rich will not go unpunished. Oh, I could read these all out to you, but I'll be here forever. A quarrelsome wife is like the dripping of a leaky roof in a rainstorm. Restraining her is like restraining the wind or grasping oil with the hand. And I know many people like that, and I know many people trapped in relationships like that. So I'm going to go back to the water one. This is the one we need to work on. As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. Find God, nothing else matters.